They said it was just business, just a creative agency, just another Kendrick Lamar rollout. But fans are now asking, was Project 3 really the birth of a new empire? Or the spark of a behind-the-scenes war nobody saw coming? The short film dropped. Mysterious, cryptic, and laced with symbolism. A kid with goggles and a goldfish? A phone number scribbled on a sock-stash note. It seemed like art. But what if it was a warning? Sources close to the situation say the launch of Project 3 wasn't smooth at all. In fact, insiders claim the tension between Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free nearly derailed the entire announcement. Creative clashes, trust issues, and secret power moves. Oh, it's all in there, and when the short film aired, some fans noticed a hidden message, one that might be calling out former allies, even family members. Rumors are swirling. Is this Kendrick's way of taking a shot at old collaborators? Is Dave Free fighting to keep the vision alive while Kendrick spirals deeper into secrecy? One thing's for sure, what went down behind the scenes of Project 3 is far more explosive than what we saw on camera. Stay with us, because the truth behind this launch will leave you stunned. They were supposed to be inseparable. Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free, the dynamic duo who revolutionized the hip-hop world, the visual world, the brand world. But when Project 3 was announced, something felt ... different. The energy wasn't the same. Insiders say the photo ops were stiff, the smiles rehearsed, and the announcement rushed. Behind those short film visuals and mysterious messages was a storm brewing, one that nearly tore the heart of pgLang apart. People close to the camp say the first signs of trouble appeared 6 months before Project 3 went public. Kendrick had gone ghost, not unusual for him. But this time, it was different. He wasn't just missing calls. He was rejecting ideas, tearing down treatments, questioning everything. And most of those rejections, they were Dave's. "I don't think this is what we started, man," Kendrick allegedly told him during one heated phone call. "This ain't pgLang. This is just noise." Dave, already juggling brand deals with Chanel and Cash App, was reportedly blindsided. For years, Kendrick had trusted him with every visual, every direction. But now, the man he called a brother was second-guessing his every move. The tension started showing in the office. The team at pgLang, once a tight-knit family, began splitting into quiet camps. One group swore by Kendrick's vision, his need to return to authenticity. The other backed Dave, the strategist, the executor, the one who made dreams into deliverable. Whispers got louder. Creative meetings turned into passive-aggressive standoffs. And when the idea for Project 3 came up, acquiring the Canadian agency Frosty and rebranding it into their new external-facing creative powerhouse, everything hit the fan. Kendrick wasn't convinced. "You want us to become ad execs now?" He reportedly snapped in a tense all-hands meeting. "That's not why we built this. We're supposed to inspire the culture, not become a brand factory." Dave tried to stay calm, but the frustration bubbled over. "We're already in it, Kendrick. You directed the Super Bowl. You worked with Cash App. Now you're acting like this, ain't you too?" A long silence fell across the room. The only sound was the soft hum of the projector playing an early cut of the short film they were prepping to launch Project 3. The one with the kid, the goldfish, and the cryptic number. A piece Dave had fought hard for, but Kendrick stood up and walked out. No explanation, no nod. It's gone. It wasn't the first time he'd ghosted like that, but this one hit different. By that point, word had already started leaking. A few insiders posted cryptic tweets quickly deleted. A producer hinted on live that Project 3 was really Project Beef. Fans noticed that Kendrick and Dave hadn't been photographed together in weeks. Rumors swirled. Did Kendrick try to buy out Dave's stake? Did Dave threaten to walk away? Meanwhile, the Frosty team, completely unaware of the brewing drama, were flying into Los Angeles for what they thought would be the biggest partnership of their careers. Their founders, Greg and JD, were excited, had no idea They were walking into a storm of unresolved issues, bruised egos, and a creative direction still stuck in limbo. On the day they arrived at pgLang headquarters, Kendrick didn't show up. Dave tried to play it cool, smiling, doing the whole tour, showing them the wall of past campaigns and the room where Kendrick allegedly wrote parts of Damn. But there was a weight in the air. One of the Frosty producers even texted a friend back home saying, "Yo, I think something's off. This don't feel right." And she wasn't wrong. Back in Malibu, Kendrick was holed up in a rented villa, reportedly with his cousin and a few close creatives. They were going over the short film again and again, rewriting the voiceovers, tweaking the colors, removing the last-minute edits Dave had made. He wasn't sabotaging the launch, but he wasn't supporting it either. He just didn't believe. "In it, we lost the heart," he told one friend during a late-night recording session. "It's becoming a business, not a message. I need to feel it again." But there was something else bothering him. Something personal, because just weeks earlier, a private conversation had leaked, one that shook Kendrick's trust in the entire project. In that recording, someone from Frosty could be heard saying, "Once we're fully in, we'll steer the brand where it needs to go. Kendrick's vision is dope, but it's not always practical." Kendrick heard it, and he never forgot it. He wasn't just mad, he was hurt. Betrayed. When Dave found out, he was furious too, but not at Frosty, at Kendrick, for not telling him sooner, for keeping secrets when the clock was ticking on the biggest launch of their careers. That night, Dave drove out to Malibu. No call, no text, just showed up. He walked into the house, saw Kendrick on the patio, headphones on, notebook in hand. They locked eyes, and for a second, the air went still. "You really think I sold out?" Dave asked, his voice low. Kendrick didn't answer right away. He looked down, scribbled something, then finally said, "I think you forgot why we started this." Dave stepped closer. "And I think you forgot how we survived. You disappear when things get real. You chase the perfect idea while I clean up the mess." The argument escalated fast. Voices raised. Accusations flew. "You're building a company on my name," Kendrick snapped. "You let me." Dave shot back. For a moment, it looked like everything might explode. Like pgLang Project 3, even their friendship was done, but then just as quickly, it all went quiet. Kendrick stood up, walked inside, dropped a piece of paper on the kitchen counter. It was the original storyboard for the short film, the one with the kid, the goldfish, and the phone number. "Run it your way," he said quietly. "Don't cut that ending. The kid stays, and that was it." The door closed behind him. No hug, no handshake. Just a silent agreement. Project 3 would launch. But at what cost? The next morning, Dave Free sat alone in the pgLang editing suite, tired, drained, still thinking about the night before. Kendrick was gone again. No text, no message. But he'd left that one line ringing in Dave's head. "The kid stays." Was a simple line, but it meant something. It's deeper than just a scene in a short film. It meant Kendrick hadn't fully walked away. Not yet. Not yet. The team had just 4 days to finalize everything. The film, the rollout, the website, even the launch party that was being kept top secret from most staff. Dave was juggling 15 calls a day. Frosty execs needing clarity, brand partners needing assets, and Kendrick. Radio silent. And then, just when Dave thought things were starting to settle, the first leak hit the internet. An anonymous account dropped a behind-the-scenes video. Clips showing Kendrick arguing with one of the Frosty producers. The audio wasn't clear, but you could make out the words "overproduced" and "not my message." It spread like wildfire. Fans started dissecting every frame, every tone. On Twitter, the hashtag started trending. #Project3Problems, #KendrickVs. Free #PG Divided. Some fans defended Kendrick, saying he was protecting his art. Others called him difficult, selfish, disconnected. The Frosty team panicked. They'd never seen this level of chaos around a rollout. JD Astro, Unaf, the Frosty founders, tried calling Kendrick directly. No answer. Greg, the other co-founder, was more vocal. "This isn't what we signed up for," he reportedly said during a tense Zoom call with Dave. "We came here to build, not walk on eggshells." Dave tried to keep the peace. He reassured the team, saying everything was under control, that Kendrick would come around. But behind the scenes, he wasn't so sure anymore. Meanwhile, Kendrick was making moves of his own. He flew to Oakland quietly. No press, no entourage, just him and a camcorder. He linked with a local filmmaker, a kid who'd posted a tribute video to pgLang years ago. He spent 2 days shooting something raw, unrehearsed, just vibes. When he came back to Los Angeles, he didn't go home. He went to a small independent studio near Echo Park and started cutting a new version of the shoot. Project 3 short film. His version. He sent Dave a link. No explanation, no subject line, just the file. And when Dave watched it, his heart sank. Gone was the sleek office setting. Gone were the brand tines. The kid was still there, but now he wandered through a rundown neighborhood, passing graffiti-tagged walls and broken windows. The goldfish. It was dead, floating in a cracked bowl dot at the end. Instead of a phone number, there was just a single line of text. "Ideas die in boardrooms." Dave slammed his laptop shut. This wasn't a creative difference anymore. This was a public statement. Kendrick wasn't just stepping back, he was pushing back. And then came the breaking point. The official Project 3 press conference, scheduled for Friday. Press, influencers, and a select few fans were invited to the secret location. Frosty had flown in their top team. Chanel and Jordan Brand sent reps. Even Cash App was rumored to be sponsoring part of the launch. But Kendrick, missing again, word started to spread that he'd pulled out completely. Dave was forced to take the stage alone. He smiled through gritted teeth, thanked the crowd, played the short film, his version, not Kendrick's, and tried to act like everything was fine. But when the credits rolled, someone in the back shouted, "Where's Kendrick?" It was awkward, tense. Dave laughed it off, but his face said everything. Later that night, photos emerged. Kendrick was spotted across town at a tiny community center screening of his own cut of the short film. No press, no lights, just him, the Oakland kid who helped him shoot it, and a room full of local artists. Fans were stunned. The two versions of Project 3, one polished, brand-friendly, and market-ready. The other gritty, personal, and stripped down, were now both out in the world. And the divide between Kendrick and Dave, it's impossible to ignore. The internet lit up. Fan theories exploded. Was this all a rollout stunt? A deeper message about capitalism versus creativity? Or was Kendrick really turning on his own company? Then, out of nowhere, a third video leaked. This one wasn't a film. It was a phone recording, taken at a pgLang team dinner 2 weeks before the launch. In it, you can hear Kendrick venting to a small group. "We started this for the kids, for the unheard, not for the suits. Dave wants to run a company? Cool, let him. But don't put my name on it." The clip was only 30 seconds long. But it shook everything. Fans, who once saw pgLang as a symbol of unity, now saw cracks. Fans chose sides. Even artists close to the label began to distance themselves. Publicly, Baby Keem posted a vague story. "When the vision ain't clear, step back." Shaw liked a tweet saying, "Kendrick gotta protect his soul." And somewhere in that chaos, Dave started to feel the walls closing in. He called Kendrick. This time, Kendrick answered. "We need to talk," Dave said. Kendrick paused, then simply said, "Pull up." Dave did. They sat in silence for a while, both drained, both angry, both knowing that if they didn't figure this out, everything they'd built could collapse. Kendrick finally spoke. "You think I'm ungrateful, Dave?" Nodded. "Yeah, I do." Kendrick looked down. "You think I'm the enemy?" "Nay," Dave replied. I think you forgot how much I care. Another pause. Kendrick sighed. I didn't forget. I just lost trust. Dave leaned forward. Then let's find it again. Outside, the city moved like nothing was happening. But inside that small room, two of the most powerful minds in music were trying to fix something that no one else could truly understand. But would it be enough? Kendrick didn't say anything for a while. The silence between him and Dave stretched long, heavy. Like the weight of everything they hadn't said for years was finally sitting in the room with them. Behind the closed studio doors, you could hear muffled beats playing from the next room. It was ironic. They were surrounded by sound, yet trapped in silence. I didn't mean for it to go this far, Dave finally admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. Kendrick gave a soft laugh, but it wasn't happy, but it did. Dave leaned back, rubbing his face with both hands. Do you think I hijacked pgLang? Kendrick didn't respond, but his eyes said enough. I didn't, man, Dave continued. I swear to you, every brand deal, every partnership, it was all with the idea that we'd fund the art, that we'd buy our freedom. Kendrick looked at him, the old fire back in his eyes. And at what cost? You turned it into a business plan. I'm not trying to inspire quarterly reports, okay? And I'm not trying to end up broke chasing poetry, Dave shot back, the heat in his voice finally rising. There it was, the truth neither had wanted to say out loud. The divide wasn't just about creative direction. It was about survival versus integrity, money versus message. The tension had never been personal. It was philosophical. They wanted the same thing, they just had different ideas about how to get there. Kendrick stood up, pacing the room. Is why people like us don't build companies. The second we start making money, everybody accuses us of selling out, including each other. Then let's prove them wrong, Dave said quickly. Let's take both versions of the short film, run them side by side, let the audience decide. Transparency. Kendrick paused. You think they can handle that? I think they deserve that. The idea hung in the air, wild, risky, unprecedented, but it was real, and maybe, just maybe, it could save everything. The next day, pgLang dropped a surprise announcement. No warning. No build-up. Just a tweet that read, 2 truths. 2 visions. 1 story. Beneath it, 2 links. Version 1, the official launch film. Dave's version. Version 2, the director's cut. Kendrick's version. Both videos went live at the same time. Within minutes, the internet imploded. Fans were shocked. Some celebrated the move as a brilliant commentary on duality. Others said it confirmed what they feared, that pgLang was falling apart from the inside. But something strange happened. Instead of dividing the fan base, the dual rollout created conversation. People weren't fighting, they were engaging, dissecting the symbolism, debating meaning. Watching both versions over and over again, even the media picked it up. Rolling Stone ran a headline, Kendrick and Dave Free just redefined creative collaboration. Complex called it the most transparent marketing stunt in hip-hop history. But not everyone was pleased. Behind the scenes, the Frosty founders were livid. Greg felt blindsided. JD accused pgLang of jeopardizing years of branding credibility. For the sake of drama, during an emergency call with both Kendrick and Dave, Greg lost it. Do you guys even care about the company we just built together? He shouted. You're treating this like an art project. We've got real clients, real deadlines. This isn't college film class. Kendrick calmly replied, you came to pgLang, not the other way around. And just like that, the line was drawn. The next week, rumors began to swirl that Frosty was pulling out of the deal entirely. Multiple brands started putting their campaigns on hold. Insiders said the pgLang office was in chaos. Half the staff didn't know who was in charge anymore. In the midst of it all, Dave disappeared from social media. No posts, no likes, nothing. Kendrick posted a cryptic clip, him walking down an empty alley, audio from his 2011 track, high power. Playing softly in the background. The caption, when the system can't hold you, burn it down. And just when it seemed like things couldn't spiral further, another twist hit. An anonymous pgLang staffer uploaded a 30-minute YouTube video titled The Truth About Project 3. It was raw, emotional, and full of bombshell claims. According to them, the internal feud between Kendrick and Dave wasn't new. It had started way back during the final months at Teed. The decision to leave the label wasn't mutual. It was Kendrick's and Dave. He tried to convince him to stay. Dave begged him, the staffer said. Said they weren't ready. Said the industry would eat them alive without protection. But Kendrick was already gone. Mentally, spiritually, he was already building pgLang in his head. The video included blurry footage of what appeared to be an argument from 2020 before pgLang's public launch. Kendrick, visibly frustrated, saying, "I'm not asking for approval, I'm asking for space." It was a glimpse into the foundation of their partnership, one built on passion, but cracked by unspoken fears. Once the video went viral, everything changed again. Public opinion started shifting. People saw the cracks not as failure, but as authenticity. Fans respected the transparency, respected the mess, because it was real. No filters, no fakeness. Just two black men trying to build something in a system not designed for them. And amidst all that chaos, one final twist emerged. A hidden Easter egg in both short films. A frame, barely visible, lasting only 0.5 seconds. A phone number, but not the same number as before. This one led to a voicemail that simply said, "If you made it this far, you're part of the story now. We're not done. Chapter 2 is coming." Fans lost their minds. Was this part of the plan all along? Or was it a pivot turned masterstroke? The world had no answers. Just more questions. And with both Kendrick and Dave now silent again, speculation was running wild, but one thing was clear. pgLang was no longer just a company, it was a story, and everyone was watching as the voicemail echoed across social media. Fans weren't just watching anymore, they were decoding. Reddit threads popped up overnight, dissecting every frame, every lyric, every scene in both versions of the short film. Twitter was flooded with theories. Some believed the fallout was staged from the beginning. A long-form rollout unlike anything hip-hop had ever seen. Others were convinced it was all real, a creative empire cracking under pressure. But deep inside the pgLang offices, something even more dramatic was unfolding. The silence between Kendrick and Dave had returned. The double release, they hadn't spoken. Not one word. Each of them retreated into their own world. Kendrick into the studio, Dave into strategy meetings with the remaining brand partners. Still, the tension spilled into the rest of the team. Assistant editors were walking on eggshells. Meetings got canceled. 2 interns even quit, claiming the energy in the office felt cursed. Then came the night that changed everything. A private screening room in Los Angeles. 20 seats, no press. No phones, just a select group of friends, family, and longtime collaborators on the invitation. One simple phrase, Project 3, the unreleased cut. Most assumed it would be an extended version of the short film, maybe a behind-the-scenes documentary, or an early teaser for Chapter 2. But what played on that screen left everyone stunned. It was something completely different. A confessional, unfiltered, raw Kendrick and Dave. Sitting in the pgLang office, surrounded by notes, scripts, photos, no special lighting, no music, just truth. They talked for over an hour about the rise, the fallout, the miscommunications, the fear. How ambition turned into resentment. How freedom became pressure. How neither of them had been able to admit they were afraid of losing each other. "I thought you stopped believing in me," Kendrick said at one point, eyes wet but never breaking contact. "I thought you didn't need me anymore," Dave replied, voice cracking. Fans would never forget the next moment. Kendrick reached into his pocket and pulled out a worn piece of paper, the original pgLang mission statement. Handwritten, dated March 2020. "You wrote this," he said. "You said we weren't going to follow the industry. We were going to make our own blueprint. I just held you to it." The screen faded to black dot, no credits, no music, just silence. By the time the lights came back on, several people were crying. Even top dogs who had seen Kendrick at his most ruthless said they'd never seen him this open, this vulnerable. Within hours, news of the unreleased cut leaked. Fans began demanding pgLang release it to the public. Some even created a petition titled, "Free the Real Film." But that's when yet another twist hit the film, according to insiders. Had never been meant for public release. It was a healing exercise, a close collaborator said anonymously. They needed to confront their demons in front of the people who mattered. The fans weren't supposed to see it. It was family business. But the internet wasn't backing down. Memes exploded. The hashtag release Project 3 confessions started trending worldwide. Meanwhile, Kendrick went silent again. Not even a like on Instagram, but Dave. He did something no one saw coming. He went live on Instagram. No announcement. No teaser. Just him, sitting in a chair with that same paper in his hand. "You want the film?" he said. "You'll get it, but not the way you expect." He then revealed that Project 3 wasn't just a film or a brand campaign. It was an experiment, an open source art project. The next chapter would be written not by him or Kendrick, but by the fans, using clips from both versions of the short film, unreleased behind-the-scenes footage and voice notes from Kendrick's vault. Fans would be invited to create their own edits, their own versions, their own stories, and the best ones. They'd be curated into an official fan-made anthology, released on pgLang's platform, with full credit and compensation. The internet exploded again. TikTokers began remixing scenes. Video essayists uploaded breakdowns. Visual artists made animated interpretations. Within days, the hashtag MyProject3 had over 40 million views. But behind all the hype, one question still lingered. Had Kendrick and Dave really made peace? Or was this their final trick? That answer came a week later. Not through a press release, not through a tweet, but through music out of nowhere. Kendrick uploaded a new track titled Freefall. No features, no producer tags. Just raw verses over a haunting piano loop. The lyrics weren't coded, they weren't poetic. They were confessions. "I lost my brother chasing purpose. Thought we'd never speak again. Took a gamble on the vision, now we reaping what we planted in." The final line. "If the world watched us break, let MCS build again." That same night, pgLang updated their website. No design, just a white screen with black text. Project 3 is no longer a film, it's a mirror. What do you see? And just below that, a countdown. 30 days. No one knew what would happen when the clock hit 0. Would it be Chapter 2? A full feature film? A joint album? Nobody had answers, and yet that's what made it beautiful. Because for the first time, pgLang wasn't about explaining. It was about experience, and Kendrick and Dave. They weren't selling a brand. They were living a story, one that millions of people now felt part of. Whether this whole saga had been real or masterfully crafted. Performance art, it didn't matter anymore. The emotions were real. The confusion was real. The connection was real. And in the age of manufactured hype, that authenticity, whether planned or accidental, was more revolutionary than any tour or record deal. So, fans waited to see what would come when the clock hit 0. Because one thing was certain now, pgLang wasn't falling. It was evolving, and the world, it was just catching up. So now we're all standing at the edge of something massive. Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free didn't just launch a brand or drop a short film, they started a fire. From leaked voicemails to emotional confessions, from cryptic websites to fan-made reimaginings. Project 3 has become bigger than just pgLang. It's a full-blown cultural storm. But here's the thing. Is this a genuine reunion of two creative visionaries? Or a carefully calculated performance meant to challenge everything we know about storytelling? Is the fallout real, or part of a master plan to reinvent the rules of fame? Fans are divided. Theories are endless. And the countdown is ticking. And that's where you come in. What do you think really happened behind the scenes? Was the voicemail leak a publicity stunt? Did Kendrick and Dave actually patch things up? Or are they just playing us? Drop your wildest theory in TH.